I breathe. Milky hair. That hair. Silky. I breathe.
I breathe.
I realize that this is really a challenge. I know 5 people to get together and say, hey, take nothing and make it something. But I picked the 5 of you. I picked 5 people that I felt have the skill to do that. And I feel, I've seen all of you work, and I really like what I see you do. And I think you're all really creative, and I think that you can do that. In terms of what we do, it really, it can be very simple. The one extreme could be that everyone does their own thing separately and we put it all together, in the final product. Or, the alternative extreme would be everyone is involved in a performance and that performance is taped live, and everyone is involved on camera in some capacity. So everyone's investment can be either a lot or minimal, and that's what's going to form what the end product's going to be.
Well, I would be much more interested in working, rather than saying off of Bruce, with Bruce and Jay and Kathy, if that makes sense. More of like us having feedback, like if he's dancing and I'm trying to write words that are somehow connected with the way he moves, I want him to feedback what he's feeling about the words I come up with. Or I would like to suggest movement, or the same with sound, of rhythm, and vice versa.
Well, I have a concrete suggestion.
Okay,
it might
good
be,
idea.
Might be a fun place to start with is if possible, if everyone could come over to the studio over in Marin, because a lot of what we've been doing over there lately is collaboration between people speaking and playing music and getting everyone just jamming together. And
Maybe we should just have a weekend or something.
yeah, just get together and play together with the stuff and with mics and with movement and see
What happens?
see what the mix kind of bubbles up on its own.
I think that's a great idea.
And then from that say, well, this was a really good piece, maybe we should polish it some, and rather than trying to figure out ahead of time.
That sounds good. I don't hear that feedback anymore. Can I use your drum, Kat?
Yeah, of course you
Great.
I generally enjoy collaboration, as long as it's not too complicated. I think that when projects get complicated, then that's when it gets tight. Then everyone's commitment is so much more. If you're doing a big project, then the amount of energy everybody has to put in is so much more. And so everyone's then starts getting more uptight about carving off their little niche. But generally, just having a different viewpoint to bounce off of is really wonderful.
Feel my fingers against my face as I scratch my beard. I feel through skin. The tide is rising. blood pooled by the sun and moon, washing debris onto the shore. Save this moment for the thunder.
One of the things about all the electronics and stuff is they have such powerful sounds that you don't need a whole lot of skill to get stuff down. But what does come out real fast is the person's depth of feeling. Your melody line was coming out of your feeling. What's interesting about the electronics is it kicks in the audience part of yourself.
It's true.
Because you're playing an instrument and you're saying, I like that sound,
Right,
I'm going to continue it, or I don't like that sound, I'm going to cut it off. And so your sensitivities and your feeling are bringing something in, and the fact that it is an instrument you've never played before means that you don't have any rules about what you're supposed to and not supposed to do.
Right.
You know, so I do think it's good to use our strengths, but I also think creativity is more universal than the form each of us has chosen. Creativity,
Yes, the rhythm I was using definitely had a lot to do with what Jay was doing. I mean, I thought we played off each other pretty well.
Yeah, and I don't consider myself like a real percussionist in the sense of,
Yeah,
you know,
but you,
yeah, I got a pulse.
yeah, right.
I know it's weird because I had never played keyboards, and the suggestion of even doing it put me in a fit. But it's really funny how fast you start to hear. I mean, I didn't realize, but I mean, I do that all the time when I write poetry. I'm always listening over and over and over to the words, how the words fit together. Well, you do the same thing with music.
Right.
You know, and if Kathy's over there getting a certain kind of steady thing, then it doesn't make a lot of sense to be out here doing something else. You start to fit into what the other people are doing. And it was amazing to me. I kept thinking, oh, this is going to be so embarrassing. And it was fun, and it wasn't as horrible sounding as I thought it was going to sound. It was certainly not professional level, but it was
Well, it's interesting, Cheryl, that earlier you said the keyboard you were playing started making, started fitting in with the rhythm of the word. You didn't, at that point you didn't say, I was making this sound on the keyboard. You were saying,
Oh.
the keyboard I was playing started following this rhythm of
Oh, we
the
all
sampler.
did new stuff.
And
'cause
that
I'd
was
never,
how I felt.
yeah, I never played the bass line before.
It's almost too much in there for me to, I'll keep showing one little thing at a time, but like one of those boxes has 1,000 sounds in it.
Right,
You know, so we could be all day just showing.
Just
sound.
showing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, we can use the percussion that you have in there as well as anything on your drum machine or the congas. It doesn't just have to be congas.
Right.
Because I think that the percussion that we use can have a lot to do with what type of mood that we're setting.
I'm fascinated by the rhythms that are thousands of years old that are played to different deities, and how that has been taken and combined with so many things, Spanish music and American music and French influence and all these different influences coming together to give us pretty much what we know as rock and roll or jazz or any popular form of music today.
noises, and are shared by other people in understanding what it means and what is felt within those rituals and ceremonials. I'd like to have some discussion around a modern day version of a mythic image, of a moral tale, of a fairy, a fairy tale, whatever word you want to use. All of them invoke, I think, very deep resonance.
I've always thought that first time I ever saw you dance, that you could do a very simple movement piece of just something with your body and something around braiding hair with your hair, because you have really beautiful hair. And that fits in also with symbolism of what the braid responds to, and the way music can be woven and the way words can be woven. And I don't know how to do it visually yet, but it's just something that came to mind with me. If you want a nice little capsulize, what do I want to do with my art? I want to change the entire world to get to a point where all cultures don't just tolerate difference, but they celebrate it. And, instead of someone being afraid of what I look like, they're going to be enchanted by it.
I am not one of the physically challenged. Oh. I'm a sock in the eye with gnarled fist. I'm a French kiss with cleft tongue. I'm orthopedic shoes sewn on the last of your fears. I am not one of the differently abled. I'm an epitaph for 1,000,000 imperfect babies left untreated. I'm an icon carved from bones in a mass grave at Tiergarten, Germany. I'm withered legs hidden with a blanket. I am not one of the able disabled. I'm a Black Panther with green eyes and scars like a picket fence. I'm pink lace panties teasing a stub of milk white thigh. I'm the evil eye. I'm the first cell divided. I'm mud that talks. I'm Eve. I'm Kali. I'm the mountain that never moves. I've been here forever. I'll be here forever. I'm the gimp. I'm the cripple. I'm the crazy lady. I'm the woman with juice.
I think there's a difference of style for creativity. There's a creativity of just jamming together and seeing what happens. Saying, we like this part, let's keep that. We like that, let's keep that. And there's a style of creativity that has a much more conceptual focus for going about doing it. It's like coming up with your ideas and what needs to be done and how to do it, and then having the creativity come in the doing of it. I have reservations on putting things together in a piecemeal approach. I don't sense that we have agreement or a sense of a unified direction as to what we're doing and how we're doing it, what we're trying to create, and it's kind of coming together in a way that's taking what I think has been more of our getting to know each other and getting to experiment and doing things together as being the product, and I don't think that's necessarily what we want to put out to people.
I would like more work on, like, taking that, and before we even work more on the music of it, work more on the concept.
Right.
Of where does the
I
braid
agree.
go? Are we just going to braid into eternity?
Right.
Or is the braid a reflection of a larger concept.
I've been thinking about what we've done and the discussions we've had, as well as listened to the tape quite a bit, and I really like the tape, and I think it stands the audio tape, yeah, and I think the audio tape stands as audio, stands up real well. Primarily, I like to work with giving the audience a little bit of information in kind of an abstract or surreal form, and continue feeding the audience information about the subject to keep them wanting more and to keep them interested and move it fast enough to be interesting. Will the performers find a location in front of or around one of these dancing sculptures?
I bring silky hair, satin hair, silky. I bring